Alright, welcome back to my Sorare journey. On this episode, we're going to go through the thresholds, how they've changed, where I'll be moving to the rare division. We're going to talk about the two new limited leagues and the underdog and the specialist. We're even going to mention the legends utility. And then right at the end, we're on an absolute hot streak and I've got all the rewards stocked up to show you guys. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Right in the 1st of April to the 5th of April, I think this is pretty much the first game week we had with these new competitions. So you can see I put Messi in it, I put Orlean in it, and Quartes here. I pretty much put my best players and my best, under 40 averages. So I had DH, which was lovely. That saved me a goalkeeper position, which I think if you can get a goalkeeper in there, go for it because they're low scoring anyway. And then an outfield player that's a wing back. So he has that kind of explosive scoring. So he's consistently going to be low scoring. But now and again, he's going to get a couple of decisives and put them up there. And as you can see, I finished 858th, and I was like, that's pretty annoying. If I had a 65 from an under 23 player and a 73 from, Messi, who's pretty much captain material most weeks, with such a favourable fixture as well. I think he's playing Lorient there. So, my first kind of thoughts were, right, they have the best rewards. Let's get straight into it. Let's try and hammer a star rare. But, what I think I overlooked is the fact that these less than 40 averages, it's like almost pot luck. Like I'm saying with this wing back, if he gets a decisive action, you never really know when like a wing back that's, inconsistent is going to get an assist or not. If it's someone like Trent, obviously he's doing it every week or every other week, that. But we're like El Karuni, it's just a gamble whether he'll put up a big score. It's the same for DH. So, my initial thoughts I think were wrong of put my best lineup there for the reason that, there's too much randomness to it. And if you look at, my best team, so yeah, you can see my best team here. It had, really big potential. We ended up with a great tier 1, finishing 174th. So, it's good to get a tier 1, but think about if you had Messi here. Messi and Neymar together, they would have been putting up massive scores, or alternatively, you could put them in Champion Europe. And if we go down to my Champion Europe team for that week, there it is, with Donnarumma in there, Koundé, we were on for like another star rare really, or star limited at least, sorry. So I think my initial thoughts were wrong. I know like, some people are still putting their best lineups out there, but there's too much randomness to me where I've kind of shifted my focus to not just put out the best team I can to make it a second thought. And I think it paid dividend. So you can see I got a tier 0 in the next week. And this was actually midweek. So, I didn't go and put my best team out here. I did put Tony Cruz in it, but he's been a bit off form. And I thought I'm going to put all my eggs into the under 23s because a lot of the best players will be moving into that specialist limited league. You've got to move before other people don't. And wow. 6th place. We finished 6th. I'll show you the reward at the end of this, but oh my god, an incredible finish. I think that might be my highest finish yet. Actually, I finished 4th, but it was when no one was really playing. So, to finish 6th in the under 23s league, obviously the most expensive, the most competitive league, unreal. The River Plate boys on absolute fire. Enzo Fernandez, I cannot talk more highly about him. 19 years old, hasn't got to move to anywhere else yet. He could be there putting up massive scores for years now. Upamecano, there was an injury at Bayern. He's back. We're getting him playing. I'm loving it. Vinicius Jr. away to Chelsea. He still picks up a goal. And the first new season card we picked up, Kosai Tani, as many under 23 goalkeepers as you can get now. I feel like it's a good, scenario to be in. If they bring in a pro, alternatively, you can play them in, under 23 over summer or just the under 23 leagues like we have now. And then if you've already got a better option, you can just drop it in Champion Asia where I don't really have a playing goalkeeper. So it was a no-brain pickup for me. He was cheaper than when I was looking at getting him previously because obviously as new cards come out, increased supply, it's just going to force the prices down. So I paid a little bit extra for the 5% bonus for a current year card. And my reasoning behind that was just, I think when you're trying to hit these top scores, when you're actually trying to top the divisions, these little 5% are going to be absolutely crucial. If you're just aiming for tier 1s, tier 2s, I wouldn't really worry about it. I would have got the cheap Tanny, but obviously looking at the size of my gallery, some of the players I had, how long I've been playing, I'm looking to win the divisions, I'm looking to podium, I'm looking for those tier 0 limiteds, and yeah, that's exactly what we got straight away. And then alternatively, in this week, there wasn't a lot going on. I think it was a midweek, so, not many teams out, but all I'm doing is putting all my eggs into one basket, putting all the best fixtures. Whereas previously I'd spread myself too thin and try and get as many teams out as possible. Even though I was telling myself it was like quality over quantity, it's so hard to actually take, two reasonable teams for one good team. And I think you've really got to start making that jump because, the price differentials for like a tier 0 to a tier 1 is huge. And then it gets even bigger between a good tier 1 and a tier 2. So, for me, my strategy now is just to put, everything I have into under 23s. I've got a strong Champion Europe team, which is going to consistently be there. But you do need a lot of, not subs, but you do need a lot of choice so you can be like fixture favourable. And that's where I'm going for now on under 23s. And I think you'll see that it's paying a little bit of dividends. So if we go to the latest week, again, so this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying, we're full sending on one division, but we're still trying to pick up smaller rewards in the other divisions. That's almost exactly what we had. And I will say here, I got seriously unlucky. I mean, look at this, 100, 100, 100, was at 98. And Beckenbauer, the introduced of legend, so I'll talk about that in a second. Rio with a 90, who I didn't play. Vinicius, 85. I have some massive scores here. Everyone's absolutely hauled. So to get only a tier 1, I was actually a little bit disappointed. So I'll talk about the ETH grinding quickly. So this is obviously my ETH grinding team. I've got, some expensive players in there like Tapsoda. And, I've got players that aren't really going to play that much like Palacios. But I'm still just putting them in there because they keep achieving the 0.02 ETH. You need 250 points, obviously. So, whilst I can do that, I'm going to keep doing that. I don't think it's worthy for me to buy a goalkeeper for upwards of £1,000 because this team wouldn't really compete. And then, you've got to take the £1,000 into consideration of the $50 or $25 each week. And then they only play on the weekends pretty much all together. So, for me, I don't think I'll be stepping up to rare. It was actually my plan. I was definitely going to step up to rare soon because, I'd got, firm understanding in the limited division. I had a team out in every league. I was ready to go. And with the update, bringing more life to the limited cards, making the rare division an even harder step up, it's just not for me. I don't think it's, necessarily a good business decision. So, if you think about it, there's kind of no gap now. You just need a massive jump. And for me, there's not enough upside to make that decision, at least not at this stage. It is fun to, play in more divisions. So, maybe I branch in with a cheap team as things go on. But for now, I am in a position where I want to buy as many limited cards as possible. I want to have, lots of selections to make. Even if I have massively good teams in training now, it really doesn't bother me. I think it's the optimal strategy for me is just to keep pushing to, kind of be the limited whale that I said I'd be, but even further where we're not just putting out good teams, but we have such a good selection of different fixtures where, a player you might only use once a season, twice a season gets involved and starts getting those prizes for you. And with the underdog leagues, it's just helpful to have these cards where you can hold on to lower value cards which you didn't think would win you anything, which now have a big chance. So that's basically what I think I'm doing. So, it's a weird choice, taking away the common goalkeeper. I thought they'd put limited keepers in there, narrow that gap. But for now, it's too big of a step up and not enough reward for me. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. It's probably not everyone's thoughts, but yeah, that's part of the game, I guess. Challenger Europe, I'm starting to do this thing where I have such good players. I can even put like a good kind of reserve team out. So I'm not focusing on Challenger Europe, but there are some monsters in here. Like I was surprised Zuba didn't score. And if he did, we're on for a tier 2 maybe. So yeah, those things happen. Champion America, it's quite competitive, but yeah, Diego Valdez scoring 78, Javier Hernandez as captain, he's quite consistent. And if your goalkeeper gets a clean sheet, you're always going to hopefully be in the reward. So that was a nice tier 3 to pick up. I'll be showing all the rewards at the end. Champion Europe, this is my monster team. Oh, the devastation. The postman let me down. Tony Cruz, he always delivers. And he didn't deliver. He was benched before the Champions League. Obviously, I didn't expect it, otherwise I probably wouldn't have played him. But, if I'd thought about it a bit broader, it does make a lot of sense. However, yeah, these things happen. To have it happen with 100, 100 and a 67, before 100 with a captain as well. Yeah, look, you guys know the pain. We did pick up a tier 3, so it's better than nothing, but that could have been so much better. Finally, Messi assisted Neymar, and I was like, it's all coming together. I've been waiting for this moment, and then Tony Cruz was dropped. So yeah, these things happen. And look, this is my Legends Limited League, and it's the first time playing it. And to be quite frank, really disappointed. When I saw the rewards, I was like, yes, probably not much point putting monsters in there. Orleans very good, Pars is reasonable, but there's just not enough on offer. And I think you can only win Legends cards. And if Legends can only win Legends cards, and it's just like, they're basically pointless at the end of the day. So I hope you improve that. But it's good, to finally get some utility for them. So let's not be too negative. The Specialist Limited League, like I said, I did put Vinicius in there, which I think might be a mistake if you see what's coming next. But don't want to talk about it too much because a last-minute substitution. I subbed out Vinicius Jr. for Julian Alvarez in my under-23s team. Obviously, I just want to put the best under-23s team out I can now. I've got such good scorers with Upamecano coming back and playing like every game week, or at least the last 5 or 6. It's unbelievable. He's putting up such big averages, like another 99 here. With Captain Jota playing as well, Celtic put 7 against, I think it was St Mirren. Was it St Mirren? It's going to be embarrassing. It was St Johnson. Oh god. Anyway, so basically my thinking was they're going to play together, so more likely to link up, get bigger scores together. So you just take one, game out of the equation where, Vinicius was playing on his own. If I'd added Vinicius as like 50 points or something, I would have definitely been on for a tier 0 there. Yeah, could have been on the podium really. So one of those things that happens, overall, you can't just say that was a bad choice because it turned out bad. Plenty of times this season, if I'd played, players in stacks together, where they're kind of dependent on each other and they help each other get big scores, it would be much more favourable. So it's not something I'd stop doing in the future. It's just one of those, like, how good was Vinicius' fixture compared to River Plate's? And I think actually they're very similar. So a good decision, which didn't work out. Those things happen, and you've got to be fair with your justification. Don't just look at the result and say, that was a terrible decision. So yeah, Underdog Limited. I haven't had a goalkeeper that can play yet, but I did have El Karuni, that guy that was talking about, decisive dependent, a wing back. He's got that wing back tax, but if he does get those decisive, he's going to put up big scores. He finally did, and he did it in a dead team. So yeah, these things happen. And then on to this week, and we have a little special. So All-Star Limited, put out a team. All-Star Rare isn't playing, and then we'll get down to it here. Under 23 Limited League, we are currently first. Oh, this is exciting. I'll do the leaderboard in a second, but Upamecano with a 97 captain, Enzo's playing again, Vinicius scoring against Chelsea again, and Julian Alvarez letting me down again. I mean, with no decisive, he's still got a 60, but can he please get some decisives in these games? There's been 6 goals in the last 2 games, and he hasn't got 1 goal or assist. It's such a pain. But let's look at the leaderboard here, because I am, 40 points clear at the top. One thing I got to mention is I don't think there's any goalkeepers playing this week, so everyone's got 4 players. So that's why I put my best team out again. And then here, the one man that can catch me, there is a couple more, but he's the highest score with a player yet to play is the great man we've had on the channel before, Orange Fly, Bob Flynn. He's got Cody Gakpo to play against Leicester. So there's a couple of scores like that, and hopefully Leicester can keep them out. There's also some probably down the stack a little bit, or down the order a little bit, or a couple of Feyenoord. There'll be a couple of PSV stacks. So it's all to play for really. But this is my first time sitting in first with all of my players playing and having a big gap. So let's pray it goes well. I really hope it goes well. I'd be devastated to lose it. The top 5 get a tier 0, and that would just be fantastic on its own. But I really want that podium. I've been so close these last couple of weeks. I'm on a bit of a heater, I'd say. And yeah, come on. Ooh, the results are in. Did I hang on to first place? Did I even get on the podium? Can I even hang on to a star limited? Let's find out. Leaderboards. 3rd place. Unbelievable. Obviously, I knew where I'd finish. So, overall, really happy now. At the time, I was a little bit annoyed because I did think I had won. I was watching the football rather than the Sorare leaderboards, and I saw Feyenoord weren't performing well. PSV weren't putting up big scores, and I was like, oh my God, I think I'm first. And then, checking the leaderboard, some really random cards of Guendouzi and Tammy Abraham beat me, but, no complaints at all. The little Roma stack here of Tammy and Ibanez. Fair play to those guys playing on what I assume's a much cheaper teams as well. So really big congratulations to those guys. But for myself here, under 23 pool, we've picked up £70, and if you know Sorare, the real money is in the Star Limited cards. So I'm going to run the rewards now. Orlean Chouameni, £410 worth of cards. That is unbelievable. Look, he's such a top player, right? All of his stats are just unbelievable. I already have him in my team, so, I'm going to add another one to the list. Obviously, there's not much point in me having two. I could probably diversify into someone else. But with the Champion Europe cards coming to the end of the season pretty quickly, he's going to be linked to absolutely everyone this summer. I really think his price will go a lot quicker. And then say if you move to someone like, Kikuchi or, someone in that region that's a big scorer in, say, like Challenger Europe, it'd be great for my short-term SO5. But, if they get a move over the summer, it's just not worth the risk. So really happy to be holding, a massive Champion Europe card, linked with Man United, linked with PSG. Bring it on. I'm expecting far more than £410 when I do get around for selling them, and I can use them up until the end of the season. So, wow. The next game week was 2 weeks 260. You've already seen the team. I'll run the rewards now. Sergio Gomez, I think that's an unbelievable tier 1. He's one of those wing backs where, he gets really high and really low scores, really, dependent on decisive actions, but it doesn't matter. Being such a young prospect in, a Challenger Europe team, I really think he's a great pickup. Worth about £115, so not one to complain about that. The next reward we have to show is a 6th place Star Limited card for this team here. Jude Bellingham, absolutely buzzing with that. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I spoiled it. I could not be more happy. I just had to get it out there. 6th place to get an absolute monster like Jude Bellingham that's going to be playing in the under-23s league for absolutely ages. He might even have World Cup utility. He could play in the England squad. Look, if we do get the Premier League on board, everyone's going to want Bellingham. This is such a good card to hold over summer. He is not going anywhere. Yes, his scores haven't been unreal at the moment, but look, Haaland's back, and it's such a short-term problem to have. Long-term, the guy's an absolute monster. The final game we have the reward for is game week 258. It's for this team here. We got a low tier 1. Let's see if we can get anything decent. Alright, game week 258, we got Marco Grohl. I'm really happy with him, to be fair. For a low tier 1, that's probably about where you expect to be. I don't know too much about him, but I've heard some really good things about him, so I'm going to hold on to him. That's £965 in 2 weeks. I'm so pleased with that. And that's excluding the tier 2s and tier 3s, right? So if you include them, it's probably over £1,000 in 2 weeks from playing fantasy football. What more can you say? I'm absolutely buzzing. Thanks so much, for everyone that gets involved in the comments here or on Twitter, people that DM me and want to have a good chat about football. It is so helpful. It's so good. Even when I post my lineups, there's so many of you that jump out with, oh, he's suspended, he's injured. It is, it's not all down to me. So thanks so much for all of your support, your help. It means the world. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe if you want to see more of this journey and the other videos I'll hopefully be doing. I'm strapped for time. I'm going to do my best to put out videos when I can. And yeah, thanks so much. All the best. Cheers.